You open your banking app and stare at the numbers. Most people think those digits sum up their financial reality. But what if that balance is just a reflection of something much deeper and completely misleading? For many, the feeling of not having enough money seems tied to the outside world, the job market, bills, or inflation. But here's a radical idea. What if the true cause isn't external at all? What if it's coming from the way you've been taught to think? Neville Goddard, a visionary with unconventional insights, revealed a hidden truth. Your financial circumstances mirror the assumptions you hold about yourself. It's not about income. It's about inner permission. What you subconsciously believe you deserve. Now imagine this. Tomorrow you wake up and discover millions have appeared in your account. Joy, freedom, or an unexpected wave of discomfort. That reaction is more common than you'd expect. It's a signal pointing not to your financial status, but to your emotional readiness to receive abundance. Most people are not repelled by money itself, but by the unfamiliar identity that comes with having it. The real limitation isn't in your paycheck or the economy. It's the mental framework silently running the show. And until that shifts, the numbers on the screen will keep repeating. The same old story. Here's a shocking truth. Most people aren't afraid of being broke, they're afraid of being rich. Strange, right? But deep down, when the idea of sudden wealth shows up, it often triggers anxiety, not excitement. That reaction isn't random. It reveals the internal programming that's been running in the background for years. It's not your job, your neighborhood, or even the global economy that keeps you stuck. The real obstacle lives in your subconscious. Research suggests that nearly everyone has some form of mental resistance to wealth, often without realizing it. From childhood, we absorb all sorts of messages about money. Sayings like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "Rich people are greedy," sound harmless, but they settle into the mind and take root. Over time, they shape how we think, feel, and act around money. This is why so many people work hard, chase success, and try all the right strategies, yet still sabotage their own progress. The issue isn't effort, it's belief. When your inner world says, "I don't deserve it," or "it's not safe to have more," your reality reflects exactly that. It's not magic, it's mental alignment. Wealth doesn't begin with a raise or a lucky break. It begins with a shift in what you're willing to receive. You might want more. More freedom, more ease, more money. You might even say all the right things, set goals, and take action. But if your brain is used to struggle, it will fight anything that doesn't feel like struggle. That's because your mind isn't built to chase success. It's designed to repeat what feels familiar. If you've spent years surviving paycheck to paycheck, that experience becomes your brain's version of safe. Not ideal, but predictable. And the brain loves predictable. So when you try to create something different, like financial expansion, your system doesn't see opportunity. It sees danger. It tries to pull you back, not out of malice, but because comfort equals survival, in your subconscious code. This is why effort alone often fails. You're not lazy and you're not broken. You're simply running on old mental programming. But once you recognize that pattern, once you see that you're not stuck, just conditioned, everything opens up. Neville Goddard taught that what we accept as real becomes real, not through magic but through repetition. The beliefs you reinforce, especially the quiet, automatic ones, shape the life you walk into every day. Change starts when you stop trusting the voice that says, "This is just how things are," and start building a new inner baseline, one that welcomes wealth like it's the most natural thing in the world. What if the problem isn't your income, your job, or even the economy, but the invisible ideas you've accepted as facts? Most people go through life reacting to what they see, unaware that what they're seeing is shaped by what they believe. Neville Goddard understood this better than anyone. Reality doesn't just happen, it responds to your assumptions. Every area of your life, especially money, reflects the identity you've mentally agreed to play. If you assume wealth is for others, that's exactly how your world will respond. Not because it's true, but because that belief is directing your focus, your emotions, your actions. Now picture this. Instead of trying to hustle harder or wait for circumstances to improve, What if you simply shifted the lens through which you view yourself? This is where assumption reframing comes in. It's not about forcing optimism or pretending you're rich. It's about rebuilding your inner blueprint, choosing to see yourself as someone who naturally attracts financial ease, who expects things to work out, who sees money as something that flows, not something you chase. Once you begin to carry that new identity, fully, not halfway, the world starts to match it. Not all at once, but steadily. Your choices change. The way you respond shifts. And slowly the outside starts to reflect the transformation that began within. The key isn't changing what you do first. It's changing what you assume to be true. Here's where most people get stuck. They wait for their life to improve before allowing themselves to feel good. But when it comes to attracting abundance, that's doing it backwards. The truth is, your emotions speak louder than your thoughts. Ever will. You can talk about goals, you can picture success, but if your body is still holding on to stress, fear or doubt about money, that's what you're reinforcing. Your brain works by association. When you repeatedly feel anxious about finances, it builds stronger pathways around that emotion. Over time, scarcity becomes a habit, an emotional reflex, but there's a way to flip the switch. Through a process known as sensory-rich imagination, you go beyond visualizing. You feel it. You step into the experience of having more, not someday, but right now. The smell of your dream home, the weight of luxury linens, the calm that comes with financial freedom. The brain doesn't know the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's real. So when you embody the emotion of abundance, your entire system starts to adapt to that new state. Want to go even deeper? Try creating future memories, imagining not just the result, but recalling it as if it's already happened. I remember the day that money stopped being a source of stress. I remember when wealth became easy. This isn't fantasy, it's training. You're teaching your nervous system to expect something different, and when it expects it, it starts to notice and respond to it. The shift begins not when your circumstances change, but when your feelings catch up to the version of you that already has everything. Most people walk through life missing the subtle nudges that could change everything. They're too focused on what's wrong, what's missing, or what hasn't shown up yet. But here's the truth. The universe is always speaking. The question is, are you listening? That random conversation you overheard? That ad that popped up at just the right moment? That gut feeling telling you to reach out, go left instead of right, check your inbox one more time? These aren't coincidences. They're breadcrumbs, signals, and when you start paying attention, life begins to feel strangely aligned. The challenge is, we've been trained to ignore these little moments. If it's not loud, obvious, or logical, we brush it off. But the universe doesn't yell, it whispers. Wealth, opportunity, alignment, they rarely come wrapped in flashing lights. Instead, they slip in through chance meetings, repeated numbers, an unexpected message that somehow hits you in just the right place. Neville Goddard taught that once you assume something is yours, the world rearranges itself to reflect it. But here's the catch. Those rearrangements often look like ordinary moments. You have to be tuned in to catch them. The more you trust those subtle signs, the more they appear. And when you act on them, when you follow the hunch, take the chance, say yes to the strange idea, you start walking a path that's been quietly unfolding for you all along. Everything you've been asking for might already be on its way. The signs are there. You just have to stop overlooking them. Your brain is powerful, but it's selective. Every second it's bombarded with information and it filters out most of it. Only what it thinks is important makes it through. That filter is called the reticular activating system, or RAS, and it's the reason why once you think about buying a certain car, you suddenly see that model everywhere. But here's the part no one talks about. Your RAS might be set to ignore wealth. Not on purpose, but because you've spent so long focused on lack that scarcity became your default filter. That means you could be surrounded by chances to grow, earn, and expand, but never see them. So, how do you fix that? You start by giving your mind new instructions. Set an intention. Today I'll notice abundance in every form. You don't have to know how money will show up. You just have to teach your brain to see it when it does. Next, practice gratitude. not just for the big wins, but for anything that signals growth, a kind word, a free coffee, a creative idea. All of these are evidence of flow. And your brain? It notices what you celebrate. Want to supercharge this? Try a short visualization each day. Picture yourself noticing and acting on opportunities with ease. Imagine your awareness sharpening, your instincts guiding you straight to the right moment, the right offer, the right decision. The more you engage with this new lens, the more your brain adapts. And soon, what once seemed invisible becomes impossible to ignore. Wealth isn't just out there, it's all around you. You just need to tune in. Here's one of the biggest blocks to abundance: needing to control every step of the journey. Most people try to script every move, obsessing over how and when their goals will happen. But that constant pressure, it doesn't help. It actually slows everything down. You weren't meant to force the process. You were meant to align with the outcome and let life arrange the rest. Think of it like this. Imagine placing an order at a restaurant. You don't run into the kitchen, double-check the chef and hover over the stove. You place your order, trust the system, and wait for your meal to arrive. Manifestation works the same way. Once your vision is clear and your energy matches it, your role shifts from pushing to allowing. Neville Goddard often spoke of living from the end, not hoping but acting as if the goal is already done. When you truly step into that mindset, you stop chasing and start choosing. Your actions reflect confidence, not desperation. This doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means staying open, alert, and responsive. You follow the intuitive nudges, the sparks of inspiration. You act but without anxiety. You move but without gripping the outcome. The truth is, your dream life may not unfold the way you imagined, and that's a good thing. Often, what you receive is better than what you planned. Let go of the timeline. Release the need to control the route. Just stay in sync with the feeling of already having it, and let the universe connect the dots. You can visualize wealth. You can repeat affirmations. You can even take bold action. But if there's a belief buried deep inside that says, "This isn't for me," everything else gets blocked. Most people don't realize they're carrying around old money stories. These aren't just thoughts. They're emotional blueprints created long before you even cared about bank accounts. Maybe you grew up hearing things like, "Money is hard to earn," or "We can't afford that." So over time, these casual phrases become inner laws, quiet rules shaping your decisions, holding back your growth and sabotaging your efforts before they even start. Here's the good news. You can change the script. It starts by noticing the patterns. Look at your current financial reality. What keeps happening on repeat? Struggles with saving? Fear of spending? Income that never quite matches your effort? Then ask, what must I believe deep down for this to keep being true? That single question opens a door. It reveals the outdated code running in your background. And once you see it, you can change it. Track those beliefs to their origin. Was it a parent's struggle, a comment from a teacher, a cultural narrative you never questioned? Then rewrite it. Replace that old belief with one that actually supports the life you want. But don't just make it sound good, make it feel believable. Your mind won't accept what feels fake, but it will start to lean into something that feels possible. Practice the new belief daily. Anchor it with emotion. Speak it with certainty. And most importantly, live as if it's already part of who you are. True financial transformation doesn't come from earning more. It comes from believing differently. Here's what most people miss. Thoughts might spark a desire, but it's your emotions that carry it into reality. You can think about abundance all day. You can write down your goals, map out your future, say all the right things. But if, underneath it all, you feel doubt, fear, or pressure, guess what you're actually broadcasting? The universe doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to what you vibrate. And your vibration is driven by how you feel. So if you want to experience a new financial reality, you have to start feeling like it's already real. Before there's any evidence, this is where most people struggle. How can I feel wealthy when I'm barely getting by? Here's the key. Focus on the core emotion wealth would bring. Is it freedom, peace, power, relief? Once you know what you're really after, You can access that emotion without needing the money first. Close your eyes. Picture a moment in your future, something that symbolizes the wealth you want. Not just the image, but the experience, the laughter, the security, the gratitude. Let it flood your system like it's happening now. This is more than imagination. This is emotional conditioning. You're teaching your body and mind to get comfortable with abundance, to recognize it, to normalize it. Do this consistently, and your entire state begins to shift. You act differently. You make new choices. You become someone who matches the reality you want, not someone chasing it from a place of lack, because in the end, the emotion comes first and the money follows. You don't need a year-long plan to start thinking like someone who attracts wealth. In fact, you can begin rewiring your mind in the next 24 hours. Here's how. For one full day, treat every moment, every interaction, and every situation as proof that abundance is already in motion. It's called the 24-Hour Abundance Challenge, and it's simpler than you think. For the next day, commit to this mindset. Everything is working in my favor. You find a coin on the street? That's a sign. Someone holds the door open for you? That's flow. You get an idea out of nowhere? That's alignment. The goal isn't to create wealth instantly. It's to train your brain to recognize the energy of abundance all around you. Why? Does this matter? Because what you notice grows, and when your focus shifts from lack to overflow, your decisions start to reflect that shift. Your reticular activating system, RAS, the brain's filter, begins prioritizing experiences, people, and information that match your new outlook. Keep a note on your phone or a journal nearby. Write down every sign of abundance, no matter how small. By the end of the day, you'll be shocked by how much you've been missing. This challenge isn't just about feeling good. It's a practical way to flip the switch from scarcity to expansion. And once your awareness locks onto abundance, it doesn't go back. You've absorbed the concepts, you've started shifting how you think, how you feel, and what you notice. Now it's time to go all in. This is your invitation to commit, fully, for the next 30 days, not halfway, not when I feel like it. Fully, call it the Millionaire Manifestation Challenge, but don't let the name intimidate you. This isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about remembering who you've always had the potential to be. Here's the plan. For 1 month, you show up as the version of you that already has it. You think like that person, speak like them, walk, dress, decide like someone who knows they're in sync with abundance. You visualize every day, but with feeling. You practice emotional alignment. You track the signs, stay open to inspired action, and let go of timelines. You don't chase. You don't beg. You embody. Because the truth is, wealth isn't waiting for permission. It's waiting for identity. And the moment you claim it, not with words, but with your energy, it starts responding. So decide. Lock in. Don't dip your toe in the water. Jump. And if the universe has been waiting for your signal, let this be it. You're not hoping for abundance anymore. You're living like it's already yours.